If you're a fan of superhero movies, you've probably appreciated at least one of the cars or gadgets featured in them. After all, they're not like anything we see on our streets. While some heroes can fly or sprint at rapid rates, others rely on their trusted vehicles to get into the action. What if you already have one or more of these? Is it conceivable? Here are the top 20 superhero vehicles that actually exist. Batmobile. A classic hero from the DC Universe, Batman, is known for owning the coolest gadgets in possible, the whole superhero genre. But here we would be talking about the vehicle used in the 1960s Batman TV series. It's a Chevrolet Corvette V8 5.7-liter petrol engine and can produce more than 500 horsepower. According to the owner, it may also be registered to drive lawfully on UAE highways. I have dreamt of owning those since I was a kid, but who am I kidding? I still do. The Batmobile, at 20 feet long and 12 feet broad, is probably not street legal. While we are on the topic of Batman, next on our list is the Batpod. Batpod. If you've watched the Batman trilogy, you'd be lying if you claimed you didn't want to own your own sleek little Batpod. I certainly did. We're also confident that you weren't aware that a Batpod duplicate is accessible. Even though the original Batpod was sold at auction in September 2016 for a whopping $400,000, enthusiasts have managed to build many working replicas. In 2010, a custom-built copy of the Batpod was for sale on eBay, and we're confident that if you seek hard enough, you can find this amazing vehicle in real life. The Batpod was used in a very famous chase scene in The Dark Knight. Who was the villain being chased? I would give you 5 seconds to answer. If your answer was the Joker, then give this video a like, and if it wasn't, still give this video clip a like. Up next we have the Joker's car Vador. Vador is a Florida-based kit maker who offers a complete rebody fiberglass kit, including interior and performance improvements to match an Infiniti G35 coupe from 2003 to 2007. Matt McEntgart, Vador's kit inventor and designer, explained that no lengthening of chassis, alteration of electrical engine components, or substantial mechanical parts changes are needed. It's nice to see customized cars in busy movies rather than expensive standard supercars. You either love it or hate it. I want you to know that when this video was chosen, I internally yelled yes because of the next person on the list. Ghostbuster car replica. The Ectomobile, or Ecto-1, is an ambulance converted in the 1984 film Ghostbusters and other Ghostbuster fiction. It's a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor Futura duplex limo-style loading combo. One man was so determined to have the automobile that he worked for 8 years to get it. He then spent 2 years hunting for components and another 6 months building his Ecto-1, but not in the same way as the movie car. After that, he spent about $20,000 on the modifications. It was a crazy year for fans in 2016, when we had another dedicated fan working on his project only a few cities over of his very own. Optimus Prime truck. The world's first fan-made Optimus Prime vehicle was created by a passionate parent with no mechanical experience. In the summer of 2016, Joe Fiducia was 36 years old and labored day and night to recreate a gigantic replica of a 21,000 pounds. Optimus Prime is one of the most recognized figures to reach our screens in a worldwide box office for over $4 billion of the extremely popular Transformers franchise. Joe of Monroe County, Pennsylvania, is resolved to be the father to make his flawless copy so that his 10-year-old son may inspire that everything is possible. If you haven't heard of the Transformer, don't worry, I hadn't either until I did some research into making this video. It appears that we have a long way to go with robots morphing into vehicles. Just look what's coming up next. The Transformer. Yes, we're talking about the Japanese robot that transforms into a car, not the movie. Transformer, the Japanese robot that turns into a vehicle. Inspired by the Transformers children's TV cartoon, the engineers have built a car-producing robot. The Japanese company Brave Robotics and Sansei Technologies, an amusement park producer, collaborated on the research process. The inventors believe that it is the first time that such a gadget can bring individuals into operation. What an amazing street-friendly superhero vehicle. Spider-Man car. In the Marvel Universe, this heroic vehicle was Spider-Man's short-lived vehicle. Does drive as Spider-Man on occasion. In an Audi commercial, Peter Parker is taking his driver's test in a prototype Audi borrowed from his friend Tony. Wrap Style, a Singapore-based company, now provides superhero-themed car coverings such as Hulk, Iron Man for kids, and others. So far, Superman car wraps have made it possible for virtually everyone to own a superhero-themed vehicle. This idea has grown so famous on social media that it was published on nearly every car's website. In recent years, you know you cannot find young Peter Parker without his friend Tony, and that brings us to the next on the list. Iron Man's armor. You can't fool me here. I'm sure we've all had the want or urge to try on Iron Man's armor when traveling from one location to another or just for fun. Adam Savage created a flying Iron Man gadget. Yes, you heard correctly. While other heroes are known for their extensive collections of various vehicles, Tony Stark is famed for his vast collection of numerous Iron Man armors. Iron Man has a suit of armor for any circumstance. They each improve on the previous one and typically include some new distinctive aspects that distinguishes them from another. Some of the suits are even medically modified, which means they are implanted in Tony's body. In the first episode, Adam constructs a titanium Iron Man costume inspired by Marvel Studios to fly it. The Iron Man's armor isn't the only Avengers technology we have on this list. Next, we have Avengers Quinjet. Avengers Quinjet was a major element of Avengers mission, one of the longest enduring and most adaptable vehicles in the list. In actual turbojets or turbofan jets, vacuum cannot function in space, thus it is completely impractical to utilize the Quinjet in space. But wait, this guy made it real, and this Quinjet is flying. You might not be able to travel or purchase it, but you can see and taste it. He does it from scratch, and it certainly appears so authentic. I'm not the only one who has wanted the Avengers X-Men crossover, but I guess we all have to settle for this list up next. We have SR-71 Blackbird. The Blackbird, the X-Men ship renowned, was one of the most intriguing items, as at first there was just a genuine Lockheed aircraft called the SR-71, dubbed Blackbird. Because Chris Claremont's mother was a pilot and he adored planes, it seemed only natural that he would utilize one for the X-Men. Surprisingly, the X-version Men of the Black has lasted longer than the real plane, which was decommissioned for good in 1999 after decades of service as one of the best military jets. Silver Surfer. Born in 1966, the Silver Surfer, Jack Kirby developed the Marvel Comics superhero. This comic hero is probably not one of the best recognized, but at the Halloween festivals in 2016, he surely received a little more exposition. Jesse Willens painted himself from the prank against the prank YouTube canal to see like a Silver Surfer. He picked up an electric skateboard and placed a silver board on silver skin and everything. He was pleased by the comic book enthusiasts throughout New York City streets. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Party Wagon. Don't be fooled into thinking it's a superhero vehicle toy. It's a real car. So many kids grew up watching Ninja Turtles, and so many of them spent hours and hours playing with and looking at their party wagon toy, picturing themselves inside it, I included. But before we get back together, what Ninja Turtle would you say you are? I'm more of a Michelangelo. I would pick a good time over training or working any day. Sorry for my little tangent. If you ever thought it was a fantastic idea, then you are in luck. It came true when Jason Ibarra built his TMNT vehicle. You probably desired one or had one as a child, but one man took it a step further. Green Hornet's Black Beauty. Green Hornet's Black Beauty, one of the most legendary entries here, connects with fans a little more than some of these other cars. It was one of the earliest on-screen superhero cars, with a slew of interesting technologies to help both Green Hornet and Kato. Unlike the Adam West Batman series Batmobile and 007's Aston Martins, the Green Hornet was more menacing than campy. Black Beauty will live on as a legend among superhero vehicles due to its menacing appearance, helpful technologies, and significance in establishing superhero automobiles for future generations. Oh wow, do we have a cool vehicle in store for you next? KITT. Although it isn't strictly a superhero vehicle, the Knight Rider KITT is nonetheless worth mentioning. KITT was Knight Industries' second vehicle with a talking artificial intelligence. The automobile was built in the 1980s for approximately $100,000, which would be over $266,000 now. Everyone wanted one just like it all of a sudden. Ohio descendants from Homestead, Chris, went to great efforts to make his 1982 Pontiac Trans Am look just like the original. Chris worked for 2.5 years to make his goals come true. The Captain America motorcycle. This superhero vehicle is unmistakably American, and not just because of the large American flag pattern on the tank, which is enhanced by the body's chrome painting. Even now, individuals create motorcycle duplicates so that you may possess your very own small part of film history. Although there are numerous replicas, some of them are recognized as permitted replicas. They have a link with the film and are often a bit more sought after when one was sold on eBay. Next, we have the Arrow car. Green Arrow and Speedy's primary mode of transportation is the Arrow car. This vehicle was only featured in the early comics, although Green Arrow was shown to have blown it up. When one automobile owner didn't ask for one, she was given an Arrow car. She was stopped at a stoplight on Highway 26 and Stokes Road in Stockton when she heard a thump. She didn't know what it was at first, but soon saw an arrow piercing through the bonnet of her car. This type of incident, according to California Highway Patrol officers, demonstrates how dangerous it can be to fire firearms into the air, even if they are arrows. Invisible jet. Mercedes has developed an imaginative advertising campaign on hydrogen-powered vehicles to catch the attention of consumers and bring attention to cars that have a low environmental effect. That must have been influenced by Wonder Woman's invisible jet idea. Until the big Wonder Woman creative revolution in the late 1950s, when Ross Andru and Mike Esposito replaced the title's original artist, H.G. Peter, the invisible plane remained simply a plane. Wonder Woman was given an invisible jet by Andrew and Esposito. Tron light bikes. Parker Brothers, a custom chopper company, has managed to bring the Tron light cycle out of the realm of CGI and into the real world. The incredible structure is entirely powered by electricity and has a top speed of 100 miles per hour. It even has the original's blinking blue light, but it can't spin 90 degrees as quickly as the genuine item. The Lotus C1 cost $140,000 and features a snappy 200 horsepower motor that is meant to rip up the asphalt and flare, as opposed to a 96-volt electric motor found in the real 2011 bespoke light cycle copy. Cycle Ghost Rider. But first, do us a favor. Click that like button to inspire us. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell and you won't miss any interesting videos. Done then? Let's go. Since I first watched The Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, on the big screens, I've had daredevil bike riding dreams. I had a childhood dream of selling my soul to the devil to become the Ghost Rider, become wealthy, and be surrounded by ladies. But I think it was all a dream, since the bike does exist, but it's not practical. It's a one-of-a-kind bike with a chrome-colored fiberglass molded casting. It's from Australia, and it's 11 feet long and 500 pounds. It seems to be a lovely ride, but it's not intended for use on the road. It's not street legal, and running the engine for too long causes the fiberglass to melt. The Tumbler. The Tumbler is an armored tank built with weapons and increased ability by Wayne Enterprises. So do you suppose it comes in black? This greatest vehicle has been replicated by Batman fans around the globe. The Batmobile 4, with its sleek and eye-catching appearance, is also waiting for you. These cars do not have the same features as the movie line, which is really. Which vehicle do you like the most? Do you want to have any of them? Let us know in the comment section. Like always, if you'd enjoyed it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and leave us some love in the comments section. To keep up to date with all of our awesome videos, be sure to hit subscribe and turn your notifications on to never miss a thing. Until next time, do take care of yourself.